A quick service announcement. We are actually live. We're going to wait till the 60-second mark. So if you are watching this not live, click forward to 60 seconds while everyone gets on. Now let's get ready to do this. Also, type something silly in the comments while you're waiting. $52, $53, $54, $55, $56, $57, almost $58. Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. The stock market isn't right now, it's pausing. But it's pretty much at all-time highs, but it's pausing because the Federal Reserve is about to speak and gold is going straight up. Why? Because people are freaking out. All right, so this story's out of Zero Hedge, and really quick, I want to tell you something. I'm going to do a blowout, crazy, stupid sale for 72 hours on the tax lien course. It is $199. It's the cheapest it's ever been. Go check it out if you want it, and then you're going to be like, Ninja, why am I crushing it so much? Like, because you're learning how to invest in real estate with little money. You're making a ton. Stupid. It shouldn't be legal, but it is. It's a thing. Links down below. Whew. All right, out of Zero Hedge. Market rally pauses ahead of Powell's speech while gold propels to new record highs. U.S. equity futures are flat after Monday's latest dose of AI excitement, where nobody seems to know where the funds will come from, but then again, nobody seems to care. Drove indexes to fresh highs. S&P futures are unchanged, with NASDAQ 100 futures fractionally in the red, with Mag 7 names mixed in pre-market trading. It's so funny how we have these Mag 7s, the Magnificent 7 stocks, the FANG stocks, all this stuff with these little excitement pockets in market rallies happen, right? It doesn't matter if it's the last couple of years, during COVID, the dot-com bubble, all that stuff, they always love to, everybody sort of clings to things. And that's the only reason why the price stays high, is because people are buying and holding, and you have less sellers than buyers, right? So they either go up in value or they hold. The thing is, those are always the biggest ones to drop when everybody panics, because those are usually the ones that kept their portfolio up. And like we've seen during the COVID crisis and the boom in stocks, you had the FANG stocks were pretty much the entire majority of the value of the stock market, which is extremely scary, right? Now, the only reason why this hasn't popped is because of government intervention. Yet, okay, it hasn't popped yet. They always pop, they always deflate. Because of inflation, that is what is keeping the stock market up and moving it higher. Most people don't understand that. But if you go back to a chart or Google the Venezuelan stock market during its hyperinflation, and you look at the charts, it absolutely will boggle your mind, where you see the stock market going up thousands and thousands of percent. It still didn't keep up with the cost of food on a percentage basis. But it's because cash, money, excess reserves, or anything financial needs to flow where it can get the most yield during those times. Now, gold is just on a rampage. Gold will be $4,000 before you know it. As a matter of fact, do me a favor. Guess down in the comment section when you think, give me a date of when you think gold will be 4,000. I'm just going to tell you, I think it's going to be way before January 1st. Now, what's that going to do to silver? See, silver has that pop because it gets pops because of industrial demand, and then it gets smashed down during times of economic crisis because they say, well, there's no demand for it. We're not making as many solar panels or whatever. That's just a narrative, okay? There's always a demand for silver. Actually, there's way more demand for silver than there is gold. But this is where it gets interesting, right? Let's see here. They're talking about corporate news of Jimmy Kimmel and all that crap, which I gotta be honest with you, I'm really so stoked. I mean, this is like the new Bud Light era of getting to witness people's real opinions. I think big corporate America is so scared because they've realized they can't push this wokeness. I'm just going to take a little. Can I take a sidebar? Yes or no? Is it all right if I can just speak freely? Of course it is. This is freaking YouTube. They love free speech. But it's really cool because this is the next voting with our dollars, and it's the corporations that are coming out and going, you know, free speech is the whole idea that you shouldn't go to prison for speaking your mind. But it's not the same as corporations have to pay you for your opinion. And this is great because now you're seeing corporations that got so knocked back from the Budweiser, the Jack Daniels, freaking Jaguar. I mean, seriously, what's happening today with all these commercials? I gotta be in one of these meetings where the ad execs are in front of the corporation that paid for them to do some ad, and like, okay, we've got the next ad that is going to absolutely just bring in the sales. They're like, the corporate guys are like, tell us, this is what we paid you for. And they're like, all right, pretty much, we're gonna run the dumbest ad we've ever done. They're like, we're listening. And like, yeah, it's gonna have nothing to do with the product. And all we're gonna do is show people that have just all kinds of weird things going on with their face and their hair, and they're gonna be all these different colors. Not white though, every other color. And they're like, this sounds like a horrible idea, but we are intrigued. And they're just, it's like, what are you thinking? It's like, pretty much we're all gonna lose our money. We're gonna lose our jobs. They're like, let's freaking do it. Anyway, sorry. So you've got that same mentality in the stock markets. You've got that mentality of, everybody else is doing it. It's just going to keep going up. And the smart money right now is in gold, silver, and crypto. I know it sounds crazy, but it really is. You know, stocks, the stock market has held up a lot of it by naked buying and selling. They're just fake derivatives. Derivatives on top of derivatives on top of derivatives. This is why AIG collapsed during the mortgage crisis, because it was insuring all of those derivatives. Right now, in the real estate industry, commercial mortgage-backed securities are now 10% more underwater and failing than at the peak of the worst part of the Great Recession. Think about that right now. At the peak of the greatest crisis in real estate that we've seen since the Great Depression, we were at what, 10.6% failure rate on the MBS. Commercial mortgage-backed securities, CMBS. We're now at 11.6. And yet back then, when it had peaked, you saw this Dow plunge by almost 50%. Actually, as a matter of fact, no, it did plunge for 50% because it was what, 14,000 and change at the time the Great Recession started, and then let's see, it bottomed out at like 69. That was pretty close, right? My point being is that it's already that bad, but because of government intervention and what you just witnessed with COVID and all of the money printed, right? All of the manipulation that happened, there's still people getting checks. Type 1, if you realize that. Like, there are people getting COVID relief checks still, like stimulus checks. That still exists. So the economy is on life support, but most people don't see it because all they see is, oh, my digits went up. But it's not, it's because it's your 401k, but you can't touch it. Because if you do too early, you get fined, you get penalized. Think about that powerful. You are witnessing the most powerful Ponzi scheme in the history of the United States right now. And it's called the pension plan, the pension program. They get you to put your money in there and said, oh, we won't tax that money until it comes out. We won't tax it, so keep giving us interest-free loans to continually print more and more money. Now, what happens during a Great Recession or a recession? People stop putting the maximum amount they can put in there, and they start putting less in, which means the cogs don't have enough oomph to keep going in the machine, and they start slowing down. And you know what happens when the velocity of money slows down? Things break down. If you're not positioned right now in gold, silver, and Bitcoin or crypto, certain crypto projects, you're just on the sidelines. Guys, watch this. Type yes or no if you own gold and you are super stoked that you own it, or Bitcoin, crypto, or silver. The point being is, as you watch people, they bought a while back. And I'm not here to sell you gold or any of that kind of stuff. If you want to start crushing it in real estate, like this is the most amazing opportunities to learn about tax liens. And I'm going to run this sale, and I'm going to get more students. I'm going to get thousands and thousands of more students. that are emailing me stating the obvious. I wish I would have done it sooner. I'm getting checks in the mail. It really was not too good to be true. It's real. This is how wealthy people have made money forever. It's tax liens and deeds. During the Great Depression, more people became millionaires investing in tax liens and deeds than in any other aspect. You know, that and buying companies that were failing. This is where you make money. I hope you do something with it. Sales good for less than 72 hours, and then it's going way up. Economic Ninja is out.